Vanakkam. After an erudite presentation from Mr. Tony Joseph, first of all, let me greet all those dignitaries on the dais. This is Mahadevan, Balakrishnan, other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. After this erudite presentation from Mr. Tony Joseph, I dare not say anything about, because I don't know much about the subject at all, excepting as a reader. Okay, I'm not a expert but I know much about Balakrishnan. So I need to tell you about Balakrishnan. Balakrishnan is a professional in terms of his administrative experience. He is also passionate about some subject. He is passionate about his profession and is professional about his passion. The first time I interacted with him was 2002 when I was Secretary in Government of India, and he was in Orissa, and we were discussing some project about upgrading the infrastructure facilities in Konar and other places by involving industries. We had already done something in Delhi involving some of the industrial units coming and providing facilities and looking after the entire place. Mr. Balakrishnan came and I was very impressed by his tremendously deep knowledge about Orissa, its art and architecture, etc. A couple of years later, when I was in the Election Commission, when his name surfaced as a potential election commissioner, I asked him saying that, Election Commission is not a very sought after place. But even so, I feel that you can do wonderful work here, so would you kindly accept to come? He was very gracious. He said it will be my pleasure to work in the Election Commission, and by God. It was such a wonderful command performance from him, and there are many things which during his stay in the Election Commission he initiated. I mean, he brought it to the Commission readily accepted. A professional to the core. There was not one occasion on which he could be said to be non-neutral. He was totally neutral and very professional. But along with this, that's the time when I came to know about his passion. At that time, he had started off with comparing place names, and I used to be amazed to know from him that places in and around Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and Gujarat, etc. were getting reflected in the south. In fact, he once told me that he gave a lecture in Coimbatore to the Kongu Velanar set of people, telling them at some risk to his personal risk, that they came from Dwarka in Gujarat. It must have come as a great surprise to them, and I don't know whether they liked it or not. But his work of trying to find out by the place name, the connections, he even told me how place names in Orissa, in the tribal belt, had resounding names in Africa. And he explained what the theory behind it and all that stuff. And it was fascinating for me to understand from him that his passion in this area. And today, after almost a decade, he's coming out with a book which is very comprehensive on the entire idea of what the Harappa civilization was about. Balakrishnan's other, I will be telling my duty if I don't say, that because of his passion, there was not an iota of diminished return in his work. This was work, he will do it with the same passion, and his passion, he will do it with that tremendous professional instinct. I don't know where he found 28 or 30 hours in a day of 24 hours. And he must have really driven himself so very deeply into both the work. In fact, if there is somebody who would be credited with a resounding success of the 2007 elections in UP, totally violence-free, Balakrishnan has to take the credit along with one of the CEOs in that state. Believe me, we had 7 phases of election. Every phase was visited by Balakrishnan along with the CEO, and from phase to phase, whatever the shortcomings were there, were told to the next phase officers, corrected, and it moved along. It was tremendously exacting work, but Balakrishnan did it with a smile and did it so very competently that right at the beginning of the 2007 election, when I had a press conference in Lucknow, I said we are quite confident of having a violence-free and clean election. And one of the journalists remarked, saying that I think the only person who believes in that is the Election Commission, nobody else believes that. And here was Balakrishnan at the end of it. The election went off so very well that there was enormous praise. Of course, you know, as the heads, we get the prize, but praise from all. But I know that the work put in by Mr. Balakrishnan and the CEO and others, under his direction, did the trick. So Balakrishnan, I can say enormously about Balakrishnan. Balakrishnan, of course, later on went deep into it. Even when he was not physically the best of health at some points of time, he would not leave his work of research. And he was promptly present in Roja Mutaya Library, working away, and at the end of it, you have this wonderful book, which, as Tony Joseph said, opens up a huge area of new knowledge for us. And in that, Balakrishnan had one great advantage that others didn't have, and he used it very well. Balakrishnan is a Tamil scholar, therefore he could fill in, he could connect the dots so very effectively which others couldn't do. From the Sangam literature, he could draw lessons, he could point out what is the meaning of this and how does it sit. In fact, the other day he was discussing how the process of making bangles out of conch, how is it described in Sangam literature, and how exactly in Kiradi, the very artifacts that have been found reflect that particular poems from Sangam literature. So Balakrishnan, you have been helped by Tamil, and Tamil has helped you a lot in bringing out your book. Before concluding, I would like to say something also which needs to be said at this juncture. Balakrishnan has done wonderful work, but there is somebody whose name does not appear on the cover. That's Sujata Balakrishnan. She is tremendous force of support to him, and in fact, I think whenever he was not in good health or whenever he was feeling low, she must have pushed him, saying that your passion, you should not lose sight of your passion and get this done. And therefore, on behalf of all of you, apart from thanking Mr. Balakrishnan for his entire book, for his wonderful book, I would like to say thank you very much, Sujata.